Well, good evening, Spirit and Truth Sanctuary, and happy Wednesday to everybody. Hopefully, it's been a joyful day for you. If it has not, take a big deep breath and just let it go. Yeah, everything that happens in our lives is not always personal. Sometimes when people around us are in a lower vibration, they tend to try to project that onto us. And so you can just let that go. It's not always about you. How about this? It's usually not about you. Let it go. Yeah, take a big deep breath and just say it's all good and it's all good. As is our custom, this year we're going to begin with our Fully Awake devotional. Today is April the 4th. We are in the month of April, which is the month of transformation. And so today's devotional is called One Heart at a Time. Before we jump into our affirmation, let's read our prayer of surrender together. If you have it there, come on, let's read together. Spirit of truth, carry me where you will. Bring to me what you will. Take from me what you will. Awaken in me what you will. The Christ man is around me. The Christ mind is in me. The Christ power flows through me. And the Christ mystery exists as me. I believe it. I perceive it. And now I receive it. I am surrendered. Amen. And so it is. Again, we are in our 1 year of devotion, Fully Awake 365. It probably should say Fully Awake 366. There's one extra day here in in February for leap year. So about every fourth year or so, we're going to do 366 days. All right, let's jump to April 5th. We're going to talk about one heart at a time. Our affirmation is this. Today, I am content to help heal the world one heart at a time. I think today's devotion is going to give some solace and comfort to all of us who feel compassion, who feel the pain of the world. We want to do something, but we don't know if we can make the impact that needs to be. We're going to start where we need to. Okay, we think we're back. Forgive us for having a little bit of technical difficulties. Things aren't always perfect, but we certainly appreciate your patience. We're talking about our daily devotional, one heart at a time, and we were talking about the principle that Jesus taught. First in Jerusalem, then Judea, then Samaria, then the uttermost parts of the world. And so what does that mean for us? For us to help the world, sometimes we have to start first with ourselves, Jerusalem, then to our neighbors, Judea, or our circle of influence, and then if other opportunities open, then that's good as well. All right, let's jump in. Have you ever stood at the window or at your window and looked out as strong winds deposit leaves onto the yard? It took you hours to clean in what seems like mere minutes. My answer is yes. Hell to the yes. Yeah, I've blown a lot of leaves in my life and been like, oh Lord, all this work. A couple of weeks ago, my son and I went out we have all these sweet gum trees or gumball trees. I don't know what they're called. But man, they are a pain. They are a thorn in my side. And they drop all these gumballs. They get all in your yard. They get down into the concrete. They get into your dog's paws. They make the yard look crazy. They get down into the mud where you can't even barely rake them sometimes. I guess he and I picked up a couple of thousand gumballs. And had a big storm the next night. And we looked out in the yard for breakfast. And there were several hundred back on the ground again. Yeah, that's just how that goes. So what's the point of that? Nature has a way of keeping us humble and also showing us the meaninglessness of our arbitrary divisions. So the devotion goes on to talk about that the wind is really no respecter of persons. The wind is no respecter of houses, of property lines. Somebody who has a tree in their yard can blow all their leaves into. The wind doesn't know that there are boundaries, that there are ownership, or that we're segmented out into these dividing lines or fences or anything of that nature. So what is the point? So if we get frustrated and say, I'm never going to deal with leaves again, our yard will become saturated, muddy. It probably will affect the foundation of our house at some point. A lot of varmints grow in untended leaves that could get into your house and cause issues when you're trying to keep your house in order. Yeah. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that we just quit. It means we do the best we can. You do the best that you can, knowing this, that watch this, let's relate it. Healing the world is a beautiful concept to talk about or dream about, but sometimes it seems too big, just like trying to get all the leaves up. Yeah. Impossible and daunting to ever achieve in reality. You remember the story of the little girl who was on the beach, and hundreds and thousands of starfish had come up and just beached themselves, and they were dying. They were basically suffocating to death and not in the water. So she was picking up one starfish at a time and throwing them back into the ocean. And an adult walked by and said, "Little girl, there's no way you can save all of them. You can't save all of these starfish." And she picked up a starfish and she threw it in, and she said, "But I saved that one." Yeah, isn't that a beautiful story? And so maybe we can't save everybody. Maybe we can't help everybody, but we can help those that God brings across our path. We can help those that we encounter on a daily basis. Of course, we have compassion for everyone, but when these overwhelming thoughts of "I can't help everyone, I'm just one person, it'll just be more of the same tomorrow" creep in, instead of putting it out of our mind totally, which is the easiest thing to do, or distracting ourselves by thinking happier thoughts, or getting bogged down by spreading yourself too thin, trying to do too much, that's good too, you can adopt this attitude. Here it is. Today, I will help those who God puts directly into my path to the best of my ability and not worry about the rest. Yeah, all you can do is the best that you can do. Help those that are open to you. Help those that God brings into your path that seemingly need a word of encouragement or a hug or compassion or a listening ear. But you can't help everybody, and you don't need to live in guilt over that. All you can do is sometimes throw a few starfish back in the ocean and let the universe, let God take care of the rest. Amen, somebody? All right, this is our closing prayer. Come on, let's read together. God of compassion, help me to put my desire to help people to the best use possible by prioritizing my time and energy where it will do the most good. Amen. And so it is. What a beautiful day of devotion. That was Pastor LaDonna's writing. She is an amazing writer. Just so grateful to have written this book with her.